All right. Now, as I was talking about literally in the last video, we will be discussing the important stuff that's happening right now. And that's the fact that Solo Sikoa no longer holds the reins upon Jacob Fatu. Let's talk about it. Now, as we know, our boy Solo, the street champion, he pulled up to assist Roman against Drew in his home country and helped Roman Reigns retain those belts. From that point forward, Solo Sikoa went from street champion to enforcer. And the enforcer, well, as we all know, we know the lineage, we know the line. Everyone was gonna eat as long as Roman was on top. Okay, he was gonna make sure the family kept all the belts, make sure everybody got a chance. Right, tag titles. Solo Sikoa was even North American champion at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it was a fire time to be alive with this bloodline. Now, unfortunately, Cody Rhodes happened, and it just I don't know what to tell you, man. Cody Rhodes got the win at Mania, okay? No matter Solo Sikoa trying to help, Jimmy, Rock, just didn't matter, all right? Cody got his W, and Roman lost the belts. Usos, they lost their belts. It's just nobody had a title. The bloodline was just stripped of everything. It was just stripped of everything. They had nothing. But see, here's where the problem lies. Okay. Just because you lose the battle doesn't mean you lose the war. The war continues. In WWE, in wrestling, everything is 365. 365 days a year, 24/7. We are always there. So just because you lost your belts does not mean you can't get them back. It means now you got to work harder. It means now you got to strive for greatness again. But instead, Roman Reigns left his folks high and dry. He left them hanging. So what did Solo do? Solo, who was put in place to be the future tribal chief, took matters into his own hands. He eliminated weak link Jimmy Uso. Listen, Jimmy, hey, y'all brothers, but hey, he had to remove him from play. You know, Jimmy was gonna still try to pull back up, regardless if he just told him he had to leave. He had to show him that, hey, you're removed. You're a weak link of the group, right? Yeah, you're trying to be on injured reserve and all that stuff. Like we couldn't do that, all right? He brings in Tama Tonga. He brings in Tonga Loa. And he brings in the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa forms the new and improved, the better bloodline. One that could put the world on its back once again. Because Jey Uso wasn't around. Jey Uso was just, yeeting on another roster. All right, he was yeeting over there. Okay, Roman was gone. Paul Heyman wasn't trying to acknowledge his new chief, so he had to remove Paul Heyman too. It's like, nah, he was trying to bring this thing back to greatness. Okay, and you know what? They started off right. If I'm being honest, they started with the tag titles. They got those back. Okay. Tag titles, they got them back. Not all of them could have got, you know what I'm saying, but eventually they probably could have got both. But as of right now, you know what I'm saying, like they got them back. Shouts out to the you know what I'm saying, the Tongans. Unfortunately, problems started to arise, man. Problems started to arise. Because as Solo was looking to regain the undisputed Universal title, out comes the man he did not expect to see. Roman Reigns, making his return to assist the enemy. All because Solo removed Jimmy. All because Solo removed Paul Heyman and the trash talk he had for him for leaving. But you see, that's where the problem lies. Roman Reigns, as he stated, is always going to put family first. That's always the most important thing. Blood comes first. And if that's the case, Roman Reigns is in the wrong here. You allow the man who disrespected your family, your lineage, this man Cody Rhodes, one who beat you at WrestleMania, you come out here and stop Solo from beating Cody Rhodes just because of words that were stated, just because he took out Jimmy and took out Paul from the faction. This is what you do. If you wanted to settle these squabbles, then you settle it the way you recently just did it. You said you did that in Tribal Combat. All you had to do was help Solo bring the belt back to the Bloodline, and then be like, you know what, Solo? Hey, even though I helped you out here, you brought the belt back. The same way you helped me at Mania. Hey, now we fighting for the Tribal Chief spot and for that belt. Plain and simple, just like that. But no. Roman was selfish. He did not want the belt on Solo. He wanted it for himself. The man hasn't even apologized to Jay or Jimmy or anybody else yet. It's crazy. It is absolutely insane. But now it brings us to Tribal Combat. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa meet on Netflix for Monday Night Raw for Tribal Combat for the Ulafala. And Roman Reigns is successful in his victory and has now regained the Ulafala and has placed himself back on top as Tribal Chief. But in doing so, Solo comes out to SmackDown, looks at the crowd just boos, and he leaves. Just like that. Just walks away. In doing so, Jacob Fatu has been unleashed upon us. Now, what does that mean? Well, Solo Sikoa, as I said before, was once Roman's enforcer. His guy, his wild card at the time. But Roman before had to keep Solo in check for certain decisions as well. Certain wild moments where Solo would wild out, he had to keep him from making said decisions. But now, positions are reversed in the fact that, or mirrored in the fact that, Jacob Fatu is now been shown, as we already seen, as Saturday Night Main Event. He's on a tear. He is going to end up being a weapon of destruction going forward on the SmackDown, Raw, NXT, TNA, wherever the hell you want to talk about it. He's going to end up being a force of nature on either of these rosters. Solo Sikoa is no longer there to keep him in check. This is what Roman Reigns has brought upon this roster. These are his solo consequences.
This place! On USA, characters welcome.
You must be sleeping under a rock or something.